Hello everybody, let's do some reading. Would you like to? Thank you. Now let's get reading! Hello! Today we're reading a Little Miss book with a visitor. Don't worry, she won't bite. She's just called Stripey, and she's well trained. But anyways, today we are reading the book called Little Miss Hug. Also, these Little Miss books are for my birthday. So, should we get started then? Click that like button if you want to. Have you ever fallen over and hurt yourself? I bet you have. And then have you wished that someone would come along and give you a hug and make you feel better? Well, Little Miss Hug is just that person. Like the time she found Little Miss Tiny after she had fallen off the curb. Also, Little Miss Hug is a little cute heart. But there is something else extra special about Little Miss Hug's hugs. It is her extra special arms. They fit perfectly around whoever she is hugging. Whether it is Mr. Small after a twig fell on him and squashed his hat. Oh no! I actually see his little cute hat. Or Mr. Bump after one of his bumps. Or even Mr. Greedy when he has a tummy ache. What? Little Miss Hug's arms are just growing around Mr. Greedy. But Little Miss Hug is always there with a perfectly fitting hug to make everything better. Then there are times when nobody has hurt themselves. Happy times like birthdays. Everyone wants a birthday hug. And times when she hugs just for the fun of it. Even the likes of Little Miss Bossy need a hug once in a while. So everyone needs a hug. Also, Little Miss Hug thought. The other day when she was out for a walk, she heard someone hidden on the other side of a hedge. Someone huffing and puffing and moaning and groaning. Someone who was in a very bad temper. Mr. Grumpy. And why was Mr. Grumpy in such a bad mood? Because the sun was out. There really is no pleasing Mr. Grumpy. Because he's always grumpy. Quick as a flash, Little Miss Hug ran round the hedge, stretched out her arms and hugged Mr. Grumpy. Or at least she tried to, but something happened that had never happened to Little Miss Hug before. Mr. Grumpy pushed her away. Get off me, shouted Mr. Grumpy. Hush! I would go and cry in a corner if someone did that to me. But Little Miss Hug could not believe her ears. She could not believe her eyes. Nobody had ever refused one of her hugs. But everyone likes a hug, she cried. She was so confused. She hugged Mr. Grumpy again. I know what you were trying to do, said Mr. Grumpy, but it won't work. I'm grumpy and I like being grumpy, and no amount of hugging will change that. I said, began Mr. Grumpy, but then he stopped. Something was happening to Mr. Grumpy that had never happened to him before. He could feel a strange warm feeling spreading out from deep inside him. Little Miss hugged him tighter. And then the most extraordinary thing happened. Very slowly, Mr. Grumpy smiled, and his eyebrows went up. For the first time in his life, he was happy. Little Miss Hug let go of him. I must say, said Little Miss Hug, you have a lovely smile. And can you guess what Mr. Grumpy did next? And then he hugged Little Miss Hug. That's cute. For the first time in his life, he hugged someone. Although, as you can see, it was almost a hug, not a proper Little Miss hug. What you might call a half a hug, a Mr. Grumpy hug. That was the end of the book called Little Miss Hearty Hug, Love Hug, or however you want to say it. If you like this, hit that like button, touch the subscribe button, comment down below on Facebook or Twitter for other books that I can read, that I think I have. And see you next time. Thanks for watching.